Question. Do you think it's been a little while since you heard this intro on a Sunday afternoon? Back in a minute. Hi, this is Jan from New York City, and my channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. If you are a baby boomer, you know who you are. Does that music not have a 1950s, early 1960s shopping style flair to it? I love that intro. I said it's been a long time since I actually used that intro because it's been a long time since I've been on a Sunday afternoon. How you doing? Hope everybody's doing well. Let me tell you something. I have a few things I'd like to update with you. A little bit of random chat, a little bit of a recipe, actually a nice recipe. Thank you so much, Sharon Jackson, once again, for your wonderful contribution. Going to jump right into it. Going to start with chicken thighs. What? Yes, you heard it, chicken thighs. We, as part of a frugal community, how many times have you heard all of us, and you know this from your own self because more than likely you are a frugal person and you have probably done this. How many of you out there have used chicken thighs as alternative protein for your meals to save money? Wallet friendly, budget friendly, taste bud friendly. Well, this is kind of cute. I was watching a certain news station this morning, and it happens to be one of my favorites, but I'm not going to promote it. But let's just say this. There was a little segment when they were talking about the rising costs of certain things affecting some restaurants. So some restaurants are now going to be, instead of pushing chicken wings, be on the lookout. I'm just throwing you guys a hint because I heard this morning on the news. Be on the lookout for chicken thighs to become the next precious commodity, if you will. It's always been a staple for us frugal people. So just keep an eye out on that. If your family and if you enjoy the flavor of chicken thighs, and to me, it's really good. It's juicy, it's moist, it tastes great, flavor to it. This may be something that you never know. That's all I'm saying on that matter. And that is it. But I did want to point this out to you that could be a red flag in the price arena. Does that sound a little logical? I just thought I'd give you guys a heads up. So that for the chicken thighs. Next, I was talking to on chat last night to a dear channel contributor and mainly for me, my friend, Sharon Jackson. How you doing? I want to thank you so much. If you looked at the thumbnail today, if you get another chance, look at the thumbnail again. You'll see a picture of this. And what it's called is Crescent roll stick buns. Now, what I'm going to do later, I'm going to indicate this in the description box below so you get to see the recipe and use it. But I'm going to read it to you too. Crescent roll sticky buns. You're going to need 4 tablespoons of butter, 1/3 cup of light brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of corn syrup, a pinch of salt. You're going to melt butter on the stove, add the sugar, the syrup, and salt, start to dissolve the sugar. You're going to remove from heat. You're going to stir in 1 teaspoon of vanilla, a 1/2 cup, more or less to taste, of chopped pecans, whatever way you like to say it. I think I say pecans. Okay, pecans. Anyway, pour sugar mixture into 8-inch round cake pan. Next, you're going to get 2 8-ounce crescent rolls dough. If you're going to use the rolls, you just pinch together the perforated areas. You pinch them together. You mix together the half a teaspoon of the ground cinnamon, 1.5 tablespoons of sugar, sprinkle over the dough, and starting on the long side roll up, cut in half and cut each half into 4 pieces. I'm going to repeat that again. Sprinkle over the dough and starting on the long side, roll up, cut in half, and cut each half into 4 pieces. You're going to place this in a pan and you're going to bake at 350 degrees for about 30 to 35 minutes. Thank you so much, Sharon. I want to get back to rising prices. She indicated through some photos in her, shopping journey that in her area, beef choice chuck roast in-store cut, okay, is about $21.49 each, which is $7.99 a pound. Another one that she sent to me, pork bone-in center thin cut chops, about 5 to 6 chops. Now, I don't know if I don't have the whole thing, the whole description of that. So it said $38.34 each, equaling approximately $5.99 a pound. Angus ground beef, the 80% one. I use the 90%. But Angus lean ground beef is $6.99 for a pound. Can you imagine, of all things, 80%? 80% hitting $6.99. Not to panic. We know what we could do with stuff like this. We are meat warriors. We are meal expanders. We are empowered. This is old news to the frugal community. Not old news about what is going on around us. Old news is how to implement good methods no matter what is going on around us. Sometimes, in certain times, you just have to cut back a little bit more. But if you know the methods all the time, and by watching certain channels that are part of the whole frugal community, and every once in a while coming back to this channel, hopefully more than once in a while, we give out great hints, tips, and tricks all the time. And Sharon pointed out, as she recalls having conversations with me, which she did early in 2020 and again in 2021, talking about how food prices would be going up. So for us, this is kind of old hat. We kind of like saw through this, and I'm sure many of you did too. And I got to watch myself because I noticed I say a lot in my videos. And I don't have all day long to keep editing my out. You know why I keep them in? I'm not a fan of jump cuts. What's a jump cut? It's when, this is me, I'm only speaking for myself. I'm not speaking for anyone else. But I find it personally annoying to view anything anywhere where every 2 seconds, person says a sentence, boom, then it jumps into another thing. Person says another sentence, boom. Maybe I'm better off keeping my in. My is more natural. We say It's real life. Who doesn't say Just saying. So the hopeful news is you can buy the full boneless, skinless breast for $3.99 and make your own thin cuts. Absolutely. Thank you, Sharon. And chicken legs are still not that bad at $1.99. But wings are going up. $4.99 a pound for wings. I'm sorry. Yes, wings have flavor, but where's the meat? Where's the meat? Remember years ago, a similar sounding commercial with an elderly lady? That was so funny. Anyway, I want to mention, this is coming from Sharon. Some really good stockpiling information. Sharon was the person that actually, one of two, and you know who you are, the other lady, who started me off during the year 2020 and said, here, you need to start a stockpile. So I was like, I don't like taking anything from anyone because that's me. I'm just don't like bug anyone for anyone. I don't ask for anything. You guys know me long enough to know that. But they're like, you're my friend. I'm just blessing you with this. So shush. So anyway, so basically, here are some very important tips from Sharon. That's why I said I have to have this chat. I believe this chat is very important. So if you want to jot these notes down or just like kind of sort of remember them. And Sharon says that she does believe that everyone should have several easy go-to food items like the ones I mentioned, like beef stews, soups, cold cereals. But Sharon stocks up more on ingredient foods, which is actually something that I don't do. And this is actually something that I personally need to consider more. Stocking up ingredient foods. Duh, Janet. That's why I admit I'm like a toddler at this thing. But I admit it. All right, so here's what she recommends. Okay, flour, sugar, powdered milk, molasses, canned veggies, canned meat. All right, okay, did the canned veggies, canned meat. I have some powdered milk. Hey, I have at least 3 out of those. All right, that's good. Things that I can make several things from. With sugar, she can make her own, or all of us, she can make her own brown or powdered sugar. When flour, of course, you can make bread, biscuits, tortillas, pancakes, muffins, cookies, cakes, and noodles. Well, I have a nice job today. I have to clean out my refrigerator. I didn't do it last Friday. Last Friday was New Year's Eve. I didn't clean out my refrigerator on New Year's Eve. It just didn't feel right. So I didn't clean out my refrigerator on New Year's Eve. Oh, guess what Sharon did? She had some green onions and 8 ribs of celery that wasn't going to last much longer. So she dehydrated them. Who out there dehydrates? Let me know. I'm curious. How does it work for you? Okay. So now she has a half a bag of frozen broccoli in the dehydrated. Thank you so much, Sharon. And, we're going to, keep in touch about this. I have some updates on Tracy. Remember Tracy? You guys helped her out. Tracy came to the channel. She's been a viewer, subscriber, and she came to the channel with a dilemma last week, maybe a little over a week ago. I'm not exactly sure of the date, but I love stories with happy endings. Tracy just basically wanted to maintain her ability to keep saving despite what's been going on at the present time. We all hope things will change for the better. So here's what happened with Tracy. Tracy listened in on all of our suggestions, and she actually managed to get 10 hours more work hours. She also is on the going to be starting a new savings account as well. Listen, I give you kudos, Tracy, and everybody else. I have been getting comment upon comment lately from you guys. Thank you so much that you felt inspired by the channel. I cannot tell you how much that warms my heart. Another person said to me on a recent comment that finally they're starting to save, something they didn't normally get to do. But channels that encourage, such as this one and many others in the frugal community, I take my hat off to you, the viewer, for being here and for taking the stuff that we say seriously. We're not just doing this just to take up space and take up air. So many times I say to myself, am I like wasting my time doing this? Every once in a while, all of us at times have self-doubt. It's like, are we wasting time? Okay, but I can only ask this for myself. Am I wasting time doing this? But clearly, that is not the case. And thanks to you, and thank you for your input. And I'm super excited that you're saving and all this and all that. So I have to leave you now, but I want to let you know, and I put a load of this. I made this coffee for the show, and I didn't even take one sip. So as soon as I'm off this, I'm going to have my coffee. Thanks so much for being here. And before I stop, I want you to know that last night when I, scheduled the premiere for 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock is for today, obviously. But for the evening last night premiere, it was a 7:45. I needed toothpicks to hold my eyes open until 8. So I said, you know what? I'm going to fall asleep for 5 minutes. And normally, this little alarm in my head, if I tell myself wake up in 5 minutes, it wakes me up. Guess what? This time the alarm didn't work in my head. I woke up at 8:11 only to see people saying, hello, hello, Jan. Hello. I'm so sorry. I really, really am. But human nature, human nature. We're up late, New Year's Eve. You know the drill, getting normalized again. In the meantime, this has been Jan from New York City. Thank you so much for viewing. Why? Because I really do appreciate who? You. Don't forget to come back Monday through Friday, every single morning at 5 a.m. Eastern, except for Tuesdays. I'm not on at 5 a.m. Eastern. I am on at 10 a.m. with a tea chat. There you go. And every once in a while, I'll come on Sunday afternoons, maybe because I like to hear that song. Have an amazing, fantastic day. Come back to Monday. Take good care. Be good to yourself. See you soon.